I'm not in the last one, and I'm between your home and the program. So I want to be as short as I can. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. Nothing is more important for democracy than to have organizations that care about making sure that the people listen to the candidates and make their own mind about what is convenient for them to have in those offices. I have a long career. But I care. I care much about what happened to families and children. If you look at my span of time, you will realize that that's what I have been working on ever since I was the director of Casa del Sol Learning Center. It was not mentioned there, but I have administrative experience. In the city of Boston, I was director of personnel, which now is known as human resource management. There was 100 employees there, and we were able to function effectively during the time I was there. That's the position from where I actually resigned to do policy for the school system because I felt it was important. Then my last position was director of the DTA office of Dudley Square, also close to 100 employees, all of public servants. I want to transform this from a bureaucracy to a public service office, and that is possible. You work with the people you have. You don't have to change the people you have. What you have to change is the expectation, the way they are treated, and what they are supposed to be doing. One of the things I did in personnel and did in DTA was to put a sign with a telephone line directly to me and an email that people can talk to me. Because that cases that take too long, I should know about them. If I'm the register for you, I should know what's going on. I should know when you feel you have not been served as you should. And I should be able to talk to the person that don't do the right service to you. Because after all, if you're there 7 hours and a half, you want to make sure that people leave smiling, not grouching at you. And that's your job. I expect to spend a lot of time, as I did in DTA, in the front desk, to know what's going on, to understand what are the needs, and to facilitate the process. I think that I have the experience to serve you in that position. And at the end of the term, or the 2 terms, or whatever time you want to have me there, I want to leave feeling that I make a difference and that people recognize that. Thank you. I'm old enough to tell you that the system that was in City Hall when I began at personnel was the one system. I don't know how many of you remember that. It was a very old kind of system, very effective to do the job electronically that we needed. But during my tenure as director of that office, we transferred it and changed it to the IBM system. And it was a process that included the whole City Hall, but was something that we needed to learn as directors in how these changes was done and what implications it had. Many things have happened since, and we have, as John mentioned, ways to file electronically that go directly to the office. And there is ways, as all of the candidates have mentioned, to make sure that the people in general know exactly the details that you need to know in an office that is public, is elected, and you should have the right to the right information at the right time. That's empowering the people, and it is essential to do. So not only we shall be able to modernize it in that process and train the people who are there so they know how to do it, because that's another important piece of it. But we also shall be very aware of any new changes that come so that we include it in the process of the Register of Probate and Family Court. In order to do that, I will have to begin to drink, which I don't do, so I don't intend to begin now, and I don't smoke either. I actually don't believe in casinos even, so, so I think that they affect families and people in money that they should be spending in their own family household. But you know that is a good question from the sense that employees to be taken care of doesn't imply to do a party. It implies to work with them, to understand what they need, to facilitate for them the process and the resources they need. Many of those employees will probably do things different if they are given the opportunity, because change is not done by a memo or by traditionally doing the things the same way. One of the things I plan to do, as I have done as an administrator before, is to shadow the employees, find out why they do things the way they do them. Many times I will get answers like, oh, that's the way it's done, or the law said that. Well, all of those have remedy. I have worked with many other of the current elected officers so that I can do policy and change if it is necessary. And when a person tells me that's the way it has been done, the first question I'll ask is, if you have the chance, if I back you up, if I give you the resources, how would you do it? And help them own the change. No change happens if the person that is going to implement it don't own it. Because it affects families, it affects children, and children are the involuntary and innocent part of all these cases. 16,000 cases last year. Those are the ones that were resolved. That involved a family in each one of those cases. I have experience as an administrator and as an elected office to be able, and this is an elected office, to be able to understand that these have to be transparent. They have to be public. People need to understand about this. And many of the people who go there go in a time of distress with need of help. It's not just the case. There are issues of domestic violence. I want to, what I did in DTA, and I hope I will be able to do it there, is to work with community organizations and other state organizations, and we have 5 desks. They belong to different organizations that could come and complement the job that DTA did. We can do the same in the register of families, of probate and families. I think families all the time. Although wills are so important that young people don't understand they have to have one. If they die in an accident, who's taking care of their children, or unless they clearly establish who should. I mean, it's not necessarily your mother the best person to do that. She may be too old, or she may not be the person you want taking care of your children. You want her to be in their life, but you may have somebody in your life. We used to have godfathers and that kind of thing. That doesn't exist too much. But you have good friends, and you may want to be sure that they take care of your children. So one of the things that I'll do, I leave the office, yes, but to go to agencies, to organizations, to groups, to facilitate for them the kind of information that they should have. Ayanela used to have leaflets in there that give you a brief of the law, procedures, forms, resources. That's important because a lawyer will have to charge you if they give that information to you. That's their profession. But you can have it for free, and you should have it for free, and you deserve to have it for free. They stopped that leaflets, and I don't see why, for the life of me, they stopped public information from the public office. Oh, it's a beautiful idea, and we have to have, not only from volunteer lawyers that come from the bar, but also from lawyers from the different ethnic organizations. There is a Chinese lawyers organization, there is a Latino lawyer organization, there is a Cape Verdean one. Most of the people who have a profession, particularly lawyers, tend to group themselves to serve their ethnic groups. We should have them. They don't have to be there every day, but once a week we should be able to tell people there will be a lawyer that speaks Chinese if you need that this coming Thursday. And I'm delighted to that. And I hear one of my colleagues, I don't want to call them opponents because we tend to know each other already and know what we say and learn from each other actually. I'm going to take some of their ideas if I'm there as well and probably get their advice. But these kind of issues of who is there available to serve the people is important, particularly in law, because as it was said before, many of the people who go to this court doesn't have the money to pay an expensive lawyer who help them navigate the system the way they should be able to. My duty to know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm serving and what are the different laws that affect the people that are going to be going to the office. I'm not going to litigate their case, and thank God that I don't have to, and thank God that they don't have me as a lawyer. But they are good lawyers. Actually, I'm sure that Kio will continue serving the law and Keenan if they don't win this position. And I hope that they'll come to the court and serve the people that need a lawyer. I'm going to be there to facilitate the administrative process, to work with the judges directly and bring to their attention, Your Honor, this case is too old. Can we do something about that? We can schedule it in advance if you want to. You are seeing cases that are less older than this. The register should be able to have a direct communication and process of facilitating for a judge their ability to serve the public as they probably want to. As I was saying before, I want to have 4 or 5 desks over there for organizations that can come and serve the people in a way that complement their need. Many people that go to the court are confused or are threatened by a court. Many people like me that are first generation never have been in front of a court until they face the need in a civil case. And they get scared, they get panic. That's why I agree with Keogh that you need the different languages in the electronic system so that they can print it out, so that they don't feel so threatened by something that they have to attend and deal with. Yes, this and other organizations need to be connected to the court, because the case do not finish with the solution of the case in court. Many situations continue through the life of the people. These are moments of very strong impact for people, and it is important that they receive the services. I always have been working in issues that have to do with serving people. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that the whole is taken care of, not just a little piece of them. It's our responsibility. I think it needs to be expanded, and I will study and work with the people who do the program to see how we can make it more effective in that aspect, because children, as I said at the beginning, are the innocent part of the whole process, and they need representation many times, particularly in case of violence against them, and it should be independent and it should be facilitated. Yes, definitely I will work and take any ideas that help facilitate and implement this program in a better place. The Department of Transitional Assistance deal with what is usually known as welfare. We were able to develop a process of a team and work with people in a daily basis. Dudley is one of the most busy places you can imagine. There are people there waiting constantly. So what we did, we got a supervisor to work in the front desk together with extra people. They had to leave their desk from the cases, and we allowed them to do that only for a couple of hours at a time. So we always were renewing people, not just the people who were in the front desk, but people who actually see cases were down there, plus one of the supervisors every time. I implemented a weekly meeting to discuss the issues that were affecting the office and to see what was needed in order to change that. And I walked through the office, which have 3 floors, every day. And well, of course, when you see the director walking around, the staff will call you and tell you, look what is happening, this is a problem. And many times I had to change a case from one worker to other so that the case could be resolved chiefly and that the bad blood between the 2 people did not interfere with the case. So those were the things I tried to do over there, to facilitate a process to make sure that people were attended on a time basis. Actually, it's funny because I did some things that people don't do regularly in this office. I connect with an agency that have free books, and we have a lot of books over there. We also connect with an agency that did daycare, and we have a room where the children could wait, where their parents were being taken care of in terms of their case. And it helped a lot to do that, because, you know, children get desperate, they get frustrated, and when they are in a building where there are so many desks, they interfere. And so by having a place where they can read a book, they can take a book home after, and there were a staff from another agency helping them, that agency felt good and we felt good. So many of those things in innovation and aspects that facilitate the process will be done. And if I had to change some person from some duties in order to make sure that another who can do them better do it, I'll do it.
Why did you leave? Why did you leave?
Oh, I did retire, but to be honest, retirement is not for me. I even went to another country and spent some time over there. And you know what that helped me? That helped me to realize where I belong to. My 5 children are here. All my grandchildren are here. The people I know are here. People that I fight with and for are here. And when I was helping Felix, some people were telling me, oh, you're back. I'm glad. Are you going to stay? And you know what? I believed them. So I decided that I still have in me to serve that I still have in me to work with issues that I have worked all my life, and that I still can make a difference, and I want to do it if you give me the opportunity. Thank you.